An industrial zone on the edge of the city greets you with blank walls of gray concrete. No signs, no logos, just a crumbling parking lot packed with beat-up sedans belonging to the staff. At the entrance, you silently hand your phone to a moody security guard. He drops the device into a plastic bin with dozens of others without even making eye contact. You're handed a badge where a number replaces your name, Operator 44. From this moment on, your identity is erased. You become a part in a massive assembly line hidden inside this silent building. You walk into a hall where hundreds of people sit under fluorescent lights. They never go out, making sure you lose all track of time. There are no windows, only the stale smell of cheap coffee and the adrenaline-soaked sweat of operators lying in unison. They call it floor noise, a low-frequency hum of hundreds of voices that vibrates in your teeth and haunts you even in your sleep. You sit in your chair, put on your headset, and wait for the system's signal. You're not a hacker from the movies. You're a factory worker in a house of fear. Your only tool is the script on the screen. You read the same phrases hundreds of times until the words turn into empty sounds designed to crack open someone's bank account. For you, people no longer exist. There are only leads and accounts. Above the floor sits the supervisor's glass booth. He's ready at any moment to delete your row from the Excel sheet. The first beep in your headset, the hunt is on. Your workday is a monotonous war for numbers. The system picks the victim and connects you instantly. A dry click in the headset, and a file pops up on the monitor. Arthur, 82 years old, a veteran from Pennsylvania. You have a few seconds to shift your persona. You switch on your work voice, soft, trustworthy, professional. You inform the old man about a critical error in his tax return that will cost him his home within 24 hours. You hear the panicked, ragged breathing of a man whose world just collapsed because of your call. Pity here is a professional defect. You don't give Arthur a chance to think, burying him under fake protocol numbers and names of federal agents. You hear his old chair creak as he reaches for his wallet. At this moment, he's not a man with medals to you. He's just a green status on your dashboard. His trembling fingers dictate the card details, and you methodically punch them into the system. One transfer for $12,000, and success lights up on the screen. For Arthur, it's poverty. For you, it's the right to a 5-minute break. The supervisor in the glass booth simply logs your efficiency. There's no time to process what you've done. You take a sip of cold coffee that tastes like burnt paper and hit the ready button again. The system is already picking the next target. A new beep in the headset forces you to speak again with the voice of a devoted friend, while the floor noise around you turns someone else's tragedy into plain statistics. When you outgrow calling old folks, they move you to the VIP sector behind soundproof glass. You don't have to shout here. In this zone, silence, patience, and flawless English are what matter. Your new target is the CFO of a logistics company in New Jersey. You don't use crude threats anymore. Now you work like a surgeon, carefully cutting through the company's defenses after months of prep. You study supply chains, partner names, and the CEO's writing style. You wait for the perfect moment to send one fake invoice for payment. In this sector, you are the elite. You send an email from a spoofed address attaching a request for a legal audit that the accounting department was already expecting. You sit in total silence, staring at the monitor. The whole office seems to freeze with you when a notification pops up for a $70,000 wire transfer. It's pure adrenaline. It wipes away the last bits of your conscience and turns the crime into a high-stakes game. You're not stealing anymore. You're conducting an operation. But success has a price. The higher the stakes, the tighter the leash around your neck. The bosses know that for this kind of money, the FBI will flip every stone. After the deal, the admin instantly wipes your logs as if you never existed. You are the most valuable and the most dangerous witness. You take your cut in crypto and go out for a smoke, realizing you're now in a game where only those who know how to vanish on time come out alive. After a couple of months, your feelings just die out. To keep from losing your mind, you start believing that your victims are to blame for their own stupidity. In the smoking area, nobody pities the people they've robbed. On the contrary, guys laugh as they recount how pathetic people sounded crying into the phone. You call them suckers or bottom feeders. This cynicism is your only armor. You build a wall in your head. On one side, you're a normal guy. On the other, you're a predator taking what belongs to others. But that wall collapses often. You watch the people at the desks next to you snap. Sometimes someone just throws down their headset and walks out the door without a word. Their badge is instantly wiped from the system, and their belongings are tossed in the trash. Weakness isn't forgiven here. You see other operators start drinking or popping pills just to force themselves to walk back into that hall the next morning. The office hum starts sounding like the voice of a monster eating people alive. You catch yourself walking down the street, looking at strangers like they're just wallets with legs. Your real life turns into a gray fog. The only thing that brings joy is the balance on your crypto wallet. You realize this job is burning you out from the inside, leaving nothing but a hollow shell. But you press the call button again. Because on the outside, you're nobody, but in here, you have power and money. The longer you're in, the clearer it becomes. You're just a disposable asset. The owners of this place spend millions protecting their servers, but they don't give a damn about your freedom. You work in a concrete box under the constant gaze of security cameras. They aren't watching for your safety. They're making sure you don't steal the database or try to snitch to the cops. Every loud slam of a door makes the whole room go silent for a second. Everyone knows the rule. If a raid happens, the bosses will need less than a minute to wipe themselves from the system and leave you to deal with the fallout. Your main fear isn't your conscience. It's the sound of a door being kicked in. You realize that to the police, you are the perfect target. While the real owners are sipping cocktails in another country, you'll be sitting in a cell trying to explain that you were just reading text from a screen. This thought creates an atmosphere of pure paranoia in the office. You start looking sideways at every new hire, wondering if they're an undercover agent wired with a recorder. There's no friendship here, only a shared secret and shared terror. Your supervisor might praise you for your numbers, but he'll be the first to hand over your name to shave time off his own sentence. After your shift, you grab your phone, walk to the lot, and smoke for a long time, looking over your shoulder. You check the news to see if a similar center got busted in another district. You get in your car and stare into the rearview mirror for a long time before starting the engine. You understand, in this game, you're the hunter until they come for you. The day comes when you realize there's no way back. Your real life has been erased. All that's left is Operator 44. You catch yourself talking to your own family like you're reading a script, manipulating, playing on pity, looking for weak spots. You've stacked enough crypto to quit, but you don't. The outside world feels alien and dangerous. Out there, you have to be honest and vulnerable, but in here, you're a predator. You've become a perfect machine that robs people on autopilot, feeling neither guilt nor joy. You look at the green recruits shaking after their first scam, and you feel nothing but contempt. You know that soon, they'll be just as hollow as you are. The end always comes out of nowhere. One day, you show up for your shift, and find an empty parking lot. The doors are locked, the guards are gone, and the windows are dark. Your bosses vanished along with the databases and your last paycheck. They simply deleted you from reality, like an unnecessary row in an Excel sheet. You stand in front of the gray concrete and realize, officially, you were never here. You have a phone in your pocket and a head full of stolen passwords and ruined lives. You're rich, but you don't know how to live anymore, because every purchase reminds you of the cries of the people you stripped bare. You get in your car and drive away, but the floor noise stays in your ears forever. That hum of 100 lying voices will be your personal silence from now on. You'll never be able to pick up the phone calmly if you see an unknown number. You know who's on the other end. You know what they're going to say. You've become part of an invisible army that's slowly eating the world from the inside. Your story is over, but in another gray building, a headset clicks right now. Another guy takes a deep breath and recites the first line of the script. The hunt goes on.